We're going to start in child's pose, actually. No props are needed, just grab your mat. And in child's pose, I want your knees out wide, toes coming together, and your forehead can come down onto the mat. Now, you can pose your hand position. Your hand position can be up by your ears, or it can be down by your ankles. Either way is totally fine. Just making sure your head is flat onto the ground. I'm actually not going to be in child's pose, so I can talk you guys through this, but stay in child's pose for the next couple of breaths as you slow down your breath this morning. Come to some sort of steady rhythm to your breath, but just start right now by breathing in and out through your nose. Taking nice long inhales in, nice long exhales out. Checking in with your body this morning. Checking in where you may feel different this morning. Just breathing in and out. Follow that breath as you breathe in, and then follow your breath as you breathe out. And as you breathe in, you're going to start to feel your back ribs expand. And as you breathe out, you'll start to feel that core engage. Really follow the movement of the breath this morning. Taking 2 more big breaths in and out. And then whenever you are ready, if your hands are down by your ankles, bring those hands up by either side of your ears. And then go ahead and come up onto your fingertips, keeping your forehead down onto the ground. Come up onto your fingertips. Just lift your elbows off of the mat, keeping your forehead down onto the ground. Walk your hands over to the right, feeling that side stretch in the left side of your body. You can either place hands side by side or left hand on top of the right. And then walk your hands to the left, keeping those hands side by side, or place the right hand on top of the left. And then walk those hands back to center. Place those hands flat onto the mat again, and then inhale, coming all the way into an all-fours tabletop position. Good. Now we're going to do some cats and cows to warm up our spine. So I want you to inhale, drop the belly down, looking up toward the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to your chest. Again, inhale, really arching your back, looking up toward the ceiling, and then exhale, rounding the spine, chin to the chest. Keep on going back and forth. You can add any extra movement here. You can look over your right shoulder, or you can look over your left shoulder, or just continue with normal cat-cows. We're going to take 2 more full breaths in and out. Then whenever you are ready, come back and set neutral spine, all fours, tabletop position. Good. Now I want you to inhale the left leg up and back towards the back of the room. Inhale, right arm all the way out. Find that stability. Draw that navel in towards the spine, and then bring the knee and elbow out to either side. Good. Inhale, reaching all the way back out. Good. And then exhale, knee and elbow out to the side. Good. Keep on going back and forth. The slower you go, the more control you will feel like you need to have in your core. I seem to don't have it this way. So inhale, reaching all the way back out. And then exhale. Good. 1 more. Inhale, reaching all the way back out. And then exhale, knee and elbow out to the side. Good. Hold it, hold both here. Place that hand down, keeping that knee lifted. Bring that left leg all the way out to the side and place it all the way down onto the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up, hands up overhead. And then go ahead and lean over that left leg, feeling that stretch in your side body. So I'm going to turn just so you can see me a little bit better. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and take a seat onto the mat. Good. So right knee is still bent, left leg is straight. Inhale, both hands coming all the way up, and then fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up, place that right hand into the mat, and then lift those hips up toward the ceiling. Good. Take a seat down onto the ground. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Right hand down. Inhale, lift that hip up toward the ceiling. Good. One more. Take a seat down onto the mat. Inhale, both hands coming all the way up, and then exhale, fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way up, hand down into the mat. Inhale, lift those hips up. Good. And then take a seat down onto the ground. Good. Now this time, bring that hand, that right hand, a little bit more center in your mat. We're going to come into a side plank. So lift coming all the way up. Now you can keep that right knee down onto the mat if you need to, or lift that right knee and lifting both hips coming into that side plank position here. Hand can stay on your hip or left hand coming all the way up to the ceiling. Good. All right, come back into your all fours tabletop position. Now we're going to do that same thing that we just did, but on the other side now. So I want you to inhale the right leg up and back. Inhale, left arm all the way out. And then exhale, knee and elbow out to the side. Inhale, reaching all the way back out. And then exhale, knee and elbow out to the side. Good. Keep on going back and forth, your own pace, your own speed. Good. Doing two more wherever you are. And then on that last one, go ahead and hold that arm and hold that leg out to the side. Good. Keep it lifted, and then place that hand down onto the ground. And then straighten that right leg out to the side, place it down onto the mat. Inhale, coming all the way back up, hands up overhead, and then exhale, fold over that straight leg, feeling that stretch in the side body. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and then take a seat onto the mat. This time, left knee is bent, right leg is straight. I want you to inhale, both hands coming all the way up, and then exhale, fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up. This time, left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, right arm up to the ceiling as you lift those hips up toward the sky. Good. So take a seat. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and then left hand down to the mat. Inhale, lift those hips. Good. Last one. Take a seat down onto the mat. Inhale, both hands coming all the way up, and then exhale, fold over that straight leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and then place that left hand down. Inhale, lift those hips really nice and high. Good. And take a seat back down onto the mat. We're going to come into that side plank position. So left hand coming to the middle of your mat. Lift your hips. That left knee can stay down if you need it to stay down, or you can lift that left knee off of the mat, coming into your side plank position here. Good. All right, come back into that tabletop position. Curl those back toes under, and then lift your hips, come into a downward facing dog. Good. It's your first downward dog of the day, so go ahead and pedal your feet back and forth, pushing one heel to the ground and then the other heel to the ground. Good. Inhale, coming all the way up onto your toes, and then exhale, step or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming halfway. Hands can come to your shins or your fingertips. And then exhale, fold forward. Grabbing opposite elbow, opposite hands here for ragdoll. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Just making sure you're not holding tension in anywhere you shouldn't be holding tension. You can also have a slight bend in your knees here. Slowly release those hands down to the mat. And I want you to inhale, rounding the spine, coming all the way up to a standing position. Good. We're going to get moving this morning if we haven't already been moving. We're going to take a step towards the front of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. We're going to do 3 sun salutations. So I want you to inhale, both arms coming all the way up, reaching up overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming halfway. And then exhale, step back into that plank position. Good. Hips in line with the rest of your body. And then exhale, bring those knees down, hips and belly follow, coming flat onto the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders, stay nice and low, round those shoulders away from your ears, stay nice and low, low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now inhale, come all the way up onto your toes, and then exhale, step forward, walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, bringing the hands up overhead. Exhale, hands are prayer, front of your heart center. 2 more. Inhale, both arms coming all the way up, reaching up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway, and then exhale, step back into that plank position. Good. You can certainly lower those knees down again, or this time you're going to lower only halfway. Roll over those toes, lift that chest, coming into an upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. 1 more. Inhale, come all the way up onto your toes, and then exhale, step or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, bringing the hands up overhead. And then exhale, hands to prayer in front of your heart center. Good. Inhale, both hands all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step back into that plank position again. This is the last one. You can bring those knees down, lower halfway. Whatever you would like to do, making your way to a downward facing dog. Good. All right, so we're gonna move on from here. I want you to inhale, right leg up to the ceiling. Bend that right knee, open up your hips, look underneath that right shoulder. Good. And then bring that right leg all the way through to the front of the mat. Good, and I'm just gonna rotate really fast. Good. So right leg is to the front of your mat, left leg is straight. You place both heels onto the mat. Open up, coming into a warrior 2. Good. So you're looking out over your right fingertips. All right. We're going to kind of get moving. We're going to do a dancing extended side angle. So I want you to bring your right forearm in front of your belly, left arm overhead. You're used to placing that right forearm on your thigh. Keep it lifted. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Left arm in front of your belly, right arm overhead. Good. Keep on going. We're going to do it one more time. Coming back into warrior 2, right arm in front of your belly, left arm overhead. Inhale, coming all the way back up, left arm in front of your belly, right arm overhead. Stay right here, left arm bent, right arm overhead. Good, now rotate your feet. So now you're bending your left knee, right leg is straight. Good, open up, warrior 2. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight. You're facing the back of your mat, looking over your left fingertips. Good, so we're gonna do that same thing to kind of turn back to the front of the room. Good, all right, left arm bends, coming in front of your belly, right arm overhead. Inhale, coming all the way back up, right arm bends, left arm overhead. Good, 1 more, left arm bends, right arm overhead. Good, right arm bends. Left arm overhead, stay right there. Rotate those feet back to the front of the room and then come back up into warrior 2. Good. Pinwheel your hands all the way down to the mat and step back into that plank position. You can choose to do a chaturanga, just like, or lift your hips, come into a downward facing dog. Good. All right. So I want you to inhale the left leg up to the ceiling. Left leg coming all the way through to the front of the mat. Place both heels down onto the mat. Open up your hips. Warrior 2. Same thing on this side now. So left knee is bent. Right leg is straight. Dancing extended side angle. Left arm in front of your belly. Right arm overhead. Good. Right arm in front of your belly. Left arm overhead. Keep on going. 1 more. Good. Left arm in front of your belly, right arm overhead. And then reverse warrior, stay right there. Rotate your feet again. So now your right foot is bent, left leg is straight. Coming into that warrior 2, facing that back of the room. Good, you're looking over those right fingertips. All right, so we're gonna come back into that same dancing extended at side angle to come to the front of the room. Right arm in front of your belly, left arm overhead. Good. Stand, kind of dance this morning. Move a little bit more. Good. Come into that Reverse warrior. Left arm is in front of your belly, right arm overhead, and then rotate those feet back so you're facing the front of the room. Open up, warrior two. Good. And then wiggle your hands all the way down to the mat if you followed all of that. Good job. Come back into that plank position. Lower down your version of a chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. All right, so inhale, come all the way up onto your toes, and then exhale, step or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, bringing those hands up overhead. And then exhale, hands to prayer in front of your heart center. Good. That was moving back and forth from front to back, front to back. We are going to do a similar thing where we're moving from front to back on this next sequence. So take a step towards the front of the mat again. Feet are hip distance apart. And I want you to inhale, both arms coming all the way up, reaching up overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, step back into that plank position. Good, we've done a lot of these, but if you prefer to get into down dog directly, you can, or you can do any version of your chaturanga. Knees down, halfway, and then make your way into a downward facing dog. Good. All right, so I want you to inhale, right leg up to the ceiling. Before we move on, I want you to bring your right knee to your right elbow or shoulder. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And then the right knee to the left elbow or shoulder. Straighten that right leg out to the side. Inhale, left arm up to the ceiling. Good. And then place that left hand down. Right leg lifts, three-legged downward facing dog. And then right leg coming all the way through to the front of the mat. Good. Hands up overhead, squaring those hips towards the front of the room. High lunge here. Right knee is bent, left leg is behind you. Good. All right. Now I want you to go ahead and lean forward. Bring those hands in front of you, leaning forward. And then I want you to bend that back knee, hover it above the ground, bring your hands behind you. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up, hands up in front of you. Good. Exhale. Bring that knee down, hands behind you. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Last one. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Good. And then rotate your feet so they're now parallel to each other. Hands to your hips. Good. Rotate those feet so they're parallel to each other, but toes out wide, heels coming together. We're going to come into a goddess pose, cactus arms. So bend those knees, bring those hands out to either side. Draw that navel in towards the spine and sink a little bit deeper into your knees. Good. Inhale, straighten your legs and arms. And then exhale, cactus arms, goddess pose. Good. Inhale, straighten all the way up. And then exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. And then exhale, bend. Sink down deep into those goddess. Squeeze those shoulder blades together behind your back. Bring your hands to your hips and then inhale, straighten both legs. Rotate those feet now so you're facing the back of the room. Good. That right heel can come up. Bending the left knee, straightening the right hands up overhead. High lunge here, squaring your hips towards the back of the room this time. Good. Bring those hands in front of you a tad bit, really reaching out, and then exhale, bring that knee down to the ground, hands behind you. Inhale, lift, hands up in front. Good. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, lift. And last one, exhale, hover that knee above the ground, and then inhale, lift. Good. Coming, so you're now parallel again. Feet are parallel to each other, facing the side of your mat. Good. One more goddess pose. Bring those toes slightly out, heels coming together. And we're gonna come into our goddess pose. So bend those knees, draw that navel in towards the spine, get rid of the arch in your back. And then come into that goddess sort of cactus arms again. We're not doing lifting up again. I just want you to bring your right forearm to the thigh, left arm overhead. So kind of an extended side angle here. And then left arm to your thigh, right arm overhead. Good. Coming all the way back up. Bring those hands to your hips again. Good. Now, I want you to bring your hands to your thighs. Thumbs are facing in. And I want you to sink even deeper. Sink a little bit deeper. I want you to bring your left shoulder to your right thigh. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Right shoulder to the left thigh. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Straighten both legs. Good. Bring those hands to your hips. Yay. Catch your breath. Breathe here. All right. We are going to come down into one of my favorite poses, frog pose from here. But in order to get that, I want you to interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest up toward the ceiling. Get those elbows, those shoulder blades together, and then exhale, fold forward. Let those hands come down. Release those hands, come down to the mat. Good. And while we're down here, before we get into our frog pose, I want you to fold forward. So walk those hands in so your fingertips and toes are in line with each other. Folding forward here. And then bring those hands out underneath of your shoulders and walk those feet in. Heel toe your feet together. And come into an all fours tabletop position. Good. All right. This is one of my favorite poses. We're going to come into frog pose. You need more padding for your knees. This is a good time to do that. Roll your mat so it is lengthwise, or you have more padding to the side of your mat. Good. Now you're coming back into your all fours tabletop position and walk those knees out. So walk those knees out as far as you can go. Walk those knees out as far as you can go until you can't go any further. Good. Your ankles should be directly in line with your knees. Toes out. So kind of like a frog in a way. Good. So as you're going to eventually come down to the ground, as you come down to the ground, you're going to push your hips back, and bring your chest down to the mat. Maybe you can come flat onto your mat, or maybe you have to hold it up a little bit. It's a pretty intense pose, so stretch or breathe through this. Do not hold your breath here, but breathe through this. I'm sorry, yes, we have first day of school, so you might hear some people in the background. Taking one more full breath in and out. And then inhale, slowly coming all the way back up. Bring those hands up if you can, and bring those knees in gently. Bring those knees in one by one. Woo, good. Curl those back toes under, lift your hips, come into your downward facing dog. And then walk those hands into your feet. And slowly rolling your spine, coming all the way up to your standing position. Good. Yay, be proud of whatever you just did. Good. We have one last fun thing before we head to the ground, and that is we are going to flip our downward facing dog. So I want you to come to the front of your mat. Good. Come to the front of your mat. Feet are distance apart. And I want you to inhale, both arms coming all the way up. Hands up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, step back into that plank position. Good. One, two more. Or let's last chatter on the lower down your version. Halfway, knees down, whatever you would like, or making your way into a downward facing dog. Good. All right, so we are going to flip our downward facing dog. We kind of did this at the beginning. So I want you to go ahead and lift that right leg up to the ceiling. Good. Now, take that right foot and bring it behind that left foot. So you're kind of crossing your legs. And then you're going to rotate your hips. So your hips are now facing the front of the mat. And then lift your right hand up to the ceiling and lift your hips up to the ceiling. Good. Yay. See what you can go. It's just for fun, just to see where you eventually want to make your practice go. Good. Go ahead and come out of it. That's the hardest part. Come back into that downward facing dog. So since we did it on the right side, we're going to try it on the left. Inhale, left leg up to the ceiling. Take that left foot behind you. Cross those feet. Rotate those hips. Inhale, lift your hips up to the ceiling. Left arm up to the ceiling. Good. Flipping your down dog, or wild thing as some people call it. Good. Now come back out of it if you can. That's sometimes the hardest part. Good. Yay. Be proud of yourself for whatever you just did. All right. Bring the right foot to the middle of your mat. Left foot comes right behind you. Cross those legs and take a seat down onto the mat. Good. All right. We were moving a lot this morning and kind of fast. So be proud of whatever you just did and whatever you could keep up with. Keep those legs together. Flex those feet. And I want you to inhale, both hands coming all the way up. And then exhale, fold forward. Grab a hold of those toes any way you can. If that means significantly bending your knees to get there, just go fold forward. Every exhale, go a tad bit deeper. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Bend the right knee. Right foot over top of the left. Now you can certainly keep that left leg straight or bend that left leg, say taking a seat onto the mat, making sure both sit bones are rooted into the ground. Inhale, left arm up overhead, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, sit nice and tall, and then exhale, twisting towards the back of the room. Inhale, turn your head, the rest of the body will follow. Good. Now keep those legs, both those knees bent if they're bent. Stack those knees on top of each other. If you need to straighten that bottom leg out, feel free to do so. We're going to go ahead and exhale, walk those hands forward. Feel the stretch in our hip flexors. Inhale, coming all the way back. Up, undo those legs, straighten both legs out in front of you. Good. Bend the left knee this time, left foot over top of the right. You could bend, keep that bottom leg straight or bend both legs. Taking a seat onto the ground, making sure you're not sitting on any part of your foot. Inhale, right arm up to the ceiling, right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Inhale, sit nice and tall, and then exhale, twisting towards the back of the room. Inhale, turn your head, the rest of the body follows. Keep those knees stacked on top of each other, or again, you can straighten that bottom leg out and fold forward. Wherever you are, fold forward, walk those hands out, feel that stretch in the hip flexors. Daddy, you kind of give me a lot of and then inhale, slowly coming all the way up. Undo those legs, straighten both legs out in front of you, and then roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down onto your backs. Good. One last twist before we do Shavasana. So bring those knees into your chest, hug them really high into your chest. Roll both knees over to the right. Look out over your left shoulders. Bring those knees into your chest, hug them high into your chest, roll both knees over to the left, look out over your right shoulders. Trying to keep your shoulders down onto the mat. Bring those knees into your chest, rolling side to side, and then slowly bringing one leg down to the mat and then the other leg down to the mat. Legs out wide, palms face the ceiling. And then go ahead, take one big breath in, and then exhale, let it all go. Checking in with your body, making sure you're not holding tension in places that we shouldn't be holding tension, especially our face or our mouth, making sure our tongue is not at the roof of our mouth. Take one big breath in, let it all go. Begin to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Bring your hands above your head. Give yourself a really nice, big stretch. Pull your knees into your chest and roll all the way over to your right side using your right arm as a pillow. And then using your hands, come all the way up to that seated position. It can be cross-legged on your knees, one leg on top of the other. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart center. And then go ahead and bow your head with gratitude for this morning's practice. Namaste.